Today on Up Front, it's full speed ahead for right-to-work legislation. Why now? It's my question for Republican Senator Van Wanggaard next. Then political trouble for Senator Tammy Baldwin after the Tomah VA scandal. Republicans accuse her of a cover-up. Journal-Sentinel investigative reporter Dan Bice on the unanswered questions facing Baldwin. Plus, Milwaukee County Executive Chris Abele on what the county is willing to do to help pay for a new downtown arena.
Covering the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Up Front with Mike Goucher.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Up Front. It's been on the radar of state lawmakers for months. Now, right-to-work legislation appears on the fast track. The Senate taking up the measure this week and the Assembly the week after. Under right-to-work, private sector employees would not have to join a union or pay dues as a condition of employment. Governor Walker had called the issue a distraction, but on Friday, his office said he would sign the bill if it reached his desk. So why now? We're asking Racine County Republican Van Wanggaard, Vice Chair of the Senate Labor and Government Reform Committee, which will begin moving the bill forward this week. Senator Wanggaard, good to have you back on the show.
Mike, thank you for asking me.
So why now? Why are you doing this now after the governor for months had been saying this was a distraction?
Well, you know, this hasn't been just a few months we've been looking at this. We've actually been looking at this since probably 2011 when we did Act 10. This was part of that process. And actually, this is carried over. And now at this point, in my election, in the fall election, this became a central issue, as it did in many of the Senate elections this past year. So
why did it become, let me jump in here.
Go ahead.
Why did it become a central issue for you? Is there clamoring on the part of the private sector for this? There are some people in the private sector say, we don't even need this. Why?
We've had private sector talk about this. We've also had a lot of our constituents calling us saying, we really want this, you know, because in states that have right-to-work laws, they have seen an increase in job performance, GDP, manufacturers wanting to come to those states. Some individuals that might want to relocate here, 50% of them, if you don't have right to work, they're not going to even consider you. So we're looking at really lifting this off and really having Wisconsin's economy really move forward.
Was it just simply a realization on Senator Fitzgerald's part that he had the votes to do this, to take it up this soon?
Well, he's been talking about this actually since it was either late in December or the beginning of January. He was talking that the Senate was going to take this up first. And I think everybody in the Senate just kind of went, okay, we didn't know if we were going to take this up right away because we have the budget issues that we're dealing with. And, of course, budgets are always tough.
Right.
But Senator Fitzgerald said this is the right time. He's queried our Senate caucus, and we have the wherewithal to get this done and get it moving.
There might be some people out there saying, why are we moving so quickly on this? Shouldn't we have more public hearings? Shouldn't we have more public debate over what right to work is and what it isn't? Why shouldn't we be out there having a robust public discourse on this issue? Why is it necessary to move it this quickly?
This isn't new to I think most of the people. They've been talking about this. We've had some really good discussions already. I think it's time to get it done. We have the votes to get it done. I think it's time to get it out there and get this thing put to sleep.
Well, what is the reaction likely to be to this? You're a veteran of the Act 10 battle. You were there in the Capitol. What do you think the public reaction will be to this?
Well, I think I would focus. This isn't about, you know, saying that you cannot belong to a union. This is about saying that you can't be compelled to belong to a union in order to have that job. And I think this is about choice. It's about an individual being able to say, you know, if the union is a good value for me and they're providing the services, I'm going to want to be a part of that. When I joined the police department in 1972, I would have joined our union at that time and stuck with them through the 30 years because we got a good value for it. I think when you look at the trade unions as an example, they offer an awesome ability for their members to get training, to get experience, to get access to good jobs because they provide that service and they really work with their membership. I don't think you're going to see a huge reduction there.
Do you think there'll be protests at the Capitol?
I think there might be, and I don't know what the scale is going to be. I would think that I'm not quite sure how you can say, hey, it's not a good thing to give people choice to have control over their life, especially when they're going to say, you know, Mike, if you don't belong to the union here at the station, not saying that you have one, but if you did, if you don't belong, you can't do your job. And I don't think that that's fair.
Let me go a little bit further into this discussion about choice. You use that word a couple of times. I've heard other people describe it as freedom. But do private sector employers not have freedom to enter into contracts with employees that they feel are beneficial in the long term to their company? Is that not a matter that the free market can determine, that it's a condition of employment, you know what it is going into the job? What's wrong with that argument?
Well, I think private sector can still, they can enter into a contract with anybody, but this doesn't compel me as a member to, or as a potential employee, that if I want that job, I have to join this union. But it also doesn't say that, you know, if I am a union member, that I can't have the job because I don't like unions. So it works both ways with that employer. The employee, it gives that employee, I think, the ability to be able to do either thing, and the protection's there for both of them.
And you come at this from a different personal experience. You were in a union as a police officer, correct?
Yes, I was.
So how do you reconcile that? There will be people who would say, I was Van Wanggaard's union brother or sister, and there he is voting for right to work. What do you say to those people?
Well, I would say that I'm still their brother. I did the job, I stood next to them, and I did what I was supposed to do. This isn't part of my job or me doing a better job. Because I was a member of the union, it didn't make me do my job better, but it gave me the choice of if I wanted to belong to that union, and we were compelled to at that point, this would eliminate that, and it would give the individual the opportunity to say, look, I think I'm getting a great value, I want to be a member, or I think I'm not getting a great value, I really don't want to be a member, and I don't want my dues coming out. I just think that is freedom, and that's the way it should be. Let the individual organization show that they can do what they say they're going to do for their constituents.
Senator Van Wanggaard, our guest today, thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the time.
You bet. Senator Tammy Baldwin fired a staff member over the handling of serious allegations involving the Tomah VA. Political watchdog reporter Dan Bice on why that staffer might now sue Baldwin. That's when Up Front continues.
Up Front with Mike Goucher, brought to you by the American Transmission Company and the Wisconsin Corn Growers Association.